Okay, folks, so this image is actually, or the sketch is what I want to do for my final pattern. So I have already put it in Illustrator, and I'm going to show you some more tools. So I have gone up into the rectangle tool, and I have chosen the rounded rectangle. So when you use the rounded rectangle, when you drag it, it gives you these rounded corners. So you can double click. So I just double clicked like I did on that last video. And then I move over here so I can get a window and I can change the corner radius. So say I want to make it a little bit softer. So I say okay. And then I can go in and I can change this. But so every time I drag it further away, that corner radius still changes so that until it becomes a full circle. So this corner is too big for what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to click it again and make this, I think I'm going to make it 0.25. Okay, so now I move this shape over to here. Now, if I want to see through it, again, I can click the fill under color so that it's got that white line through it. And what I'm going to do is work this one whole corner because it's symmetrical over here, and then copy it and paste it to do all the other corners so that they're all the same dimensions. But I know when I was drawing my image, see how tight it is here and how big it is here. I'm just going to copy this for a moment and paste it and look at it when I put it over here. So see the way it goes beyond the border here, and over here it's shorter. So I'm going to unlock this image that I have here, and I'm going to scoot it down so it's not exactly perfectly aligned. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to find my center point. Let me move this out of the way for a moment. So here is my box, and I am going to show my rulers. So under view, you can show your rulers. And so here, this is 4 inches by 4 inches with those rulers. And you can click in the ruler and drag guides over. So I'm going to drag some guides that show me the exact center. And then I have this border on here. So let me move this back here for a moment. I'm going to try to find roughly that center point. And then I have these this border here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scoot this, it's sort of splitting hairs here. I'm going to add here's my, it's hard to see with the drawing, but here's my 0 point. And I'm going to make my border, see what it is over here. This is my 0 point. So it's, it's 3/8. It's 2 lines after the 1/2 inch. So that's what I'm doing there. And then so here, from here, I go to the 1/2 inch, 2 lines after the 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to do it over here. So I'm looking not at my sketch, but at the edge of my drawing. Okay, and then I am going to lock my sketch again. So here's my center point. Here's my shape that I made. So I'm going to sort of eyeball it so it's even in here because it doesn't need to be precise. It just needs to look good. And then for this corner, I'm going to make it a perfect round circle. So I changed the ellipse and I'm dragging it, holding the shift key so that it's a circle. Okay, so I'm just looking, it's not going to be a perfect quarter, it's going to be a little bit more in my drawing, but I'm looking at where that dot is in relationship to the corner of my image. For a minute, I was looking at this line instead of the line of the edge of my page. So I am visually aligning it there. Okay, so now I have some other curves to do here. So I am going to play with this shape here. So I don't need it to be a perfect circle this time, an ellipse is fine. And then I'm going to copy that and paste it and move it over here. And then I'll pinch it in a bit. And I do want to center these two. See the way the dots, the center dots aren't even? So I want to align them so horizontally they're even there, okay? So this part is going to be trimmed out, so that's fine. Although, you know, I'm going to do every once in a while is I'm going to unlock. Actually, what I should probably do is create a new layer in here. I'm going to create a new layer. So those of you who don't know how to create a layer, it's this little picture. It says layer, and I'm going to go up here to this hamburger and say new layer. Okay, so I'm going to put my drawing on one layer. So I'm going to cut this out and paste it on layer 2. Notice how when I move it around, this is red here, and this image here is red when I click on this particular image. So I am going to move my picture around so it is centered pretty much in the middle there. I'm looking at all the different dimensions here. Okay. So now I am going to click right here, this space in between the eyeball and this, and that locks it. And then I'm going to move this, whoops. What I did was I accidentally opened this up. What I'm going to do is drag this up again. This isn't a very good demo for you folks, but you're learning. So what I've accidentally done is I moved it into another layer. So anyway, I have got one layer here and one layer here. The bottom layer, the red layer, is locked, and then the blue layer, if I turn this eyeball off, I can see my blue layer and I can see where my shapes are. So this helps me to turn off that sketch so I can see how I like the way things look, and I don't love the way this is looking here. It's not quite right in what I wanted it to do. So I can keep playing with moving this around, but what I can also do is I can go and get, this is called the direct selection tool. And I can go in and notice these little points show up. So I can go and push those points in or out so that I can change the dimension of this a little bit. And then what I did was I got out of that tool by clicking the black tool. So let me show you that again. So if I were to draw, let me turn my, I'm going to draw another shape here. So I'm going to draw this one right here. So I've got my ellipse tool, and I'm going over top of what's here, and I'm going to then take my black arrow and move it in a bit here. And I don't like the sharpness of this corner here, but I like the length and width, so I click on the white arrow. I need to make this blue dot a white dot. I unclick, I click on the line. So I'll do that again. So I originally had, with the black arrow, I had it so these points were all blue. I unclick, I'm going to this tool and I'm clicking right on the line. If I just click on that line, I can get that point, and then I can move it in to flatten that point. And then I can pull these handles out, and I want to pull them out in equal amount. So there I have changed the dimensions. So you click back and forth between the blue arrow to move the shape around, and then unclick and click the white arrow to go in and make changes to the points. So I'm going to pull this straight out here, though I don't really want to do that. And then you can play with handles by moving these handles out so I get more of a wide curve there. Okay, so I will gradually keep building onto this. I'm going to put this on pause and do some more work and show you what I've been doing. So you can see I've tweaked this and gotten the way I want it to look. So now I'm going to hold my shift key and I'm going to drag over these shapes. I'm going to copy and paste them. I'm going to group, and then I'm going to flip them. So if I go up to Object, Transform, Reflect, I can flip them vertically, and then I get a set of these shapes. So see, I have the borders, so I can go right over that border. Okay, now I'm going to group all of these again, copy, paste, group, and then I am going to go to Transform, and I'm going to go to Reflect again, but instead of horizontal this time, I am going to hit it so that it goes vertical. And it's a mass of lines right now, but because I grouped it, I'm not so in such good shape. All right, so I'm going Command Z to get back again. I just did Command Z, Command Z. I'm going to copy, paste. I'm going to group. I'm going to flip. You know, I can just rotate too, actually. I could rotate this 180 degrees because it's square, so I can do that. And then I can move this down so that I'm aligning those boxes again, okay? So the other thing I want to show you is, I'm going to turn on my picture again. So the next thing is I want to make these half circles, right? I have a half circle here and a half circle there. I've got this circle that I've drawn that I think is a good proportion here. I'm going to turn this off for a moment. So I want to get rid of what's showing in here. So what you can do with shapes is you can use this tool called the Pathfinder. So I'm going to drag a box over top of this piece of the circle that I want. So here's this box and then this circle. So I've got the box and the circle selected. Then I'm going to go to what's called the Pathfinder Tool, which looks like this. You find it under Window, Pathfinder. Anything you don't see here that you need, you would go to Window to find. So I go to Pathfinder. Okay, so I want to get rid of, you can see the little pictures. I want mine to look like, I want this shape. So I'm going to click this picture. Okay, and so what it did for me was it got rid of that other stuff. I'm going to show you, whoops, I'm going to Command Z, copy and paste and show you over here a little bit so it's easier to see. So I can take any shape and I can overlap them and I can combine them so they're all one, or I can cut them, whoops, so that it takes the center of where they intersect. I can cut it so it becomes individual pieces that I have to actually go to ungroup, and then I can cut these pieces out. You see that? So that's what I did here. I took this piece and this piece and I cut that. So now I can copy this and I can hold the shift and spin it, and then I'm aligning it so that it's lined up with that guideline there. Okay, and I'm going to go to my layers again and see what else I have to do. So I have another set of lines right through here that I will draw. I'm going to put this on hold. Okay, so I have finished tracing everything. I want you to see I was supposed to have a little arch right here. And so what I have done is I've just placed this circle here. I'm going to hide this for a moment. So this circle is Need to align it.